Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Alyssa. This is my channel of New Direction and we're doing things a little bit differently. You can see Miss Maze, going right over her pony there. So the girls wanted to come out. They don't start school until Wednesday this week, so they were wanting to spend the afternoon just playing on their ponies here. So we compromised. I said I would come and sit out here and watch them on their ponies, and they would sit quietly so I could do our Venus in Leo reading. So Venus went direct into Leo. It left the sign of Cancer and it has moved into Leo, and that started September the 6th and it goes till October the 2nd. So I know I'm a little behind, but there has just been so much going on in my life. But this is one of those ones that is really kind of significant, so I wanted to point it out. So the planet of Venus is the planet of kind of like the divine feminine, okay? It's the planet of the arts and the romances and the fine kind of, the finer things in life. That is definitely the planet of Venus, the Empress as she is. So it moved, as I was saying, it moved from Cancer to Leo. So it kind of went from that need for security and emotional connection and emotional fulfillment to a need for more affection, physical connection, and the playfulness of life, okay? So there's a strong need when Venus is in Leo, there is a strong need here for love, okay? There can be that need for seeking to be admired, seeking that admiration within our family and friends. There can just be that the craving almost, okay? Like the craving for physical touch within our lives, okay? This is, as much as there is that need to really, want all of those kind of aspects of love within our lives, this is a very important time to really be focusing on our self-love, okay? Our love for ourselves. You need to be cautious with Venus in Leo because, the energy of the Leo, it can struggle greatly with ego, and that's not throwing digs at, any Leo out there. That is just, the energy, the imbalance of a Leo is that struggle with, the struggle with ego here. So, it is very important that you find, when you're seeking this love and you're seeking this admiration, that we start with ourselves. So anyway, that's enough about that. Let's get into this reading. So we are starting here with the Energy Oracle deck, and we are going to pull the energies of the lesson here. So the energies of the lesson with Venus in Leo, and, maybe what the lessons have in store for us. All right, 2 more shuffles. Venus and Leo, the lesson of Venus and Leo here, Spirit. What is the energy here of the lesson in Leo? The lesson in Leo. The lesson of Venus in Leo. Storm warning, broken heart, and appreciation. Isn't that? Look at that. And the 4th chakra walking away and the 7th chakra on the bottom. To a man holding a heart. Wow. Okay. The lesson here, storm warning, broken heart, and appreciation. And isn't that just kind of, that is a lesson of learning self-love, really. Storm warnings are talking about the things in our lives that have to crumble, whether they are relationships, situations, whatever that is. There are certain parts of our lives that do have to change, that we can't continue on down certain roads, and whether that's a shift in mentality or it's a breakdown in relationships, that's what the storm warning's kind of talking about. It's talking about the need to actually really do the breakdown, right? It can also be really talking about those, those kind of destructive parts within our lives, right? The storms that come up and the brokenheartedness behind it, and then appreciation. And storm warnings often, to me, this is the Tower, right? And the Tower in tarot is those destructive parts within our lives in which Oftentimes things come down, and even when things do come down, we have to trust that there was a purpose, there was a reason, there was, it wasn't just some fluke thing that happened. There was a purpose to that. So we're going to pull some tarot here for the storm warning. Let's see what this storm warning is here. The Knight of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the Three of Cups. Look at that. It's the clarity here. So the storm warning is really talking about, yes, okay, there was some sort of, and this is going to apply different in all of your lives, okay, in everybody's life. We must apply general readings like this to where they fit and not try to fit them in anywhere else. The King of Swords here is talking about the clarity. It's almost as though, this King of Swords is saying, okay, yes, there was storms that needed to happen, but he has the understanding as to why they needed to happen. He can look beyond just the surface level here and see the bigger picture, as he sits on the mountaintop here, very clear, right? Very clear in his decisions. And this kind of energy is very much needed, and when it's a king, it's talking about your masculine energy. Therefore, it's talking about kind of the actions in the clarity, the actual actions into that clear thinking process. The Queen of Cups behind that, because that clarity was able to, allow you to really connect into the divine feminine side here, but the divine feminine of your emotional aspects, your cup signs, and our cup signs are talking about our emotional fulfillment. Okay. And they are, and see, this storm warning had to happen, but from here you are able to see the clarity through it, the understanding as to why it needed to happen. You were able to trust, no matter what the pains were, that you moved yourself through that. And that opened you up to the Three of Cups, which is an open fellowship. It's a beginning, okay? It's the offer of newness. It's the offer of love here. And it's almost as though whatever the storm warning was in your life, maybe it is a relationship, maybe it was just certain ways of thinking before, right? There was this change here, and whether it came with downloads from the universe or it came with an actual situation that came up in with your life, something altered change here. It made you open, it made you look at things from a different perspective. It made you really feel things from a different perspective, okay? And then ultimately brought you some sort of connection and fulfillment. And if it hasn't yet, it's going to, it's in the works of this. As this lesson continues through, through this direct Venus and Leo, that is one of the things that is coming. I'm just going to clarify this Three of Cups, actually. Judgment. Yep, look at that. Judgment clarifies that Three of Cups, because absolutely, that Three of Cups is, it's the karmic lesson here, it's the coming together. Like, look here, even in this Judgment card, it almost looks like those three ladies, right? It's people coming together and releasing themselves, releasing the baggage, okay? It's embracing the newness. It's going forward with understanding that, okay, yes, life has been the way that it is, but there is grace here, there is peace, and there's newness, there's forward movement. That's really pretty. Okay, the heartbreak here. Let's look at this heartbreak. What is this broken heart? The Hermit. Some of you could be dealing with a Virgo, but the brokenheartedness, the Hermit, the Star, and the Hanged Man. Look at that. Three major arcanas. This heartbreak was a karmic lesson of major sorts. Okay. It really did. When major arcanas come out, the tarot deck is split into major and minor arcanas. And when major arcanas come out, those are major karmic lessons in our lives. Okay, the Hermit, that's learning how to sit with yourself. Understanding that your road to your own salvation was only something that you will ever be able to walk on your own. And your salvation that's personal for all of us. That's our life lessons. That's our understanding for the divine. That's our connections and stuff, right? But the Hermit here, as it comes out with this heartbreak was a karmic lesson because it really took you back to yourself. It really made you sit with the light within yourself here, This Star, this is the connection to the cosmos. Look at her, just holding that string. And here she has the faith. She has the faith that she is connected to the cosmos. She has the faith that she is connected to a divine. That her prayers are not just something that she speaks upon the wind to, that they are actually heard. And that though they might not turn out exactly the way she plans, her prayers will be answered in the way that they are best going to serve her. These are karmic lessons that this has taken to come into this period. And this is, as Venus goes through Leo, this is a beautiful lesson to be learning. Huge, major karmic lesson to be learning, because look at all of this. Even after you find this light within inside yourself, you understand that you are connected to the cosmos, to the divine, to the higher, that your prayers are being answered in a way that are going to most fulfill yourself. You are able to then embrace the Hanged Man. We need to watch this pony here. See how? I'm blocking the gateway here so that he can't escape into the field, but he's already tried it. But he's interested in, he likes to check out the buckets. Okay, but this Hanged Man here, this is the change here. This is the change in perspective. This is where you really open yourself up to allowing spirit to just guide you. Guide what needs to be. You allow spirit to just untangle what needs to happen. The heartbreak has happened, yes, but it was a karmic heartbreak. It needed to happen because it has literally set you on a different perspective. It's allowed you to open yourself up to the cosmos, open yourself up to the divine, and go forward here. Changed. Different. Huge karmic lesson here. That's really beautiful. Sorry, guys. Oh, you little shit. Well, I will hopefully edit that part together. But what you probably didn't see is the pony I was pointing out. He took off. So anyway, we have taken half of them in and they are put away, and the boys are in the bean field and my daughters are heading out to catch them now. So let's continue though. All right, so we were talking about this heartbreak and how this heartbreak was a very karmic heartbreak. It needed, it wasn't here just as a whim, most of you probably have felt that whatever this heartbreak was, it was like one that was maybe almost hard for you even to move on past. It almost felt like you were in this hanged man position because of that karmic heartbreak for a while, right? But it needed to happen here because the lessons of this heartbreak, whatever that was in your situation, were so important to the purpose and divine path that you are on. So we're going to pull a couple clarifiers. I just want to see what this Hermit is. What is the Hermit here? The Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, actually. Look at that. And the Hermit here was almost, it's almost as though there were so many options before you. And it was like the energies that you were kind of circulating in here, they weren't things, they were bringing in patterns of negativity. It was almost like the options and the cups before you with this Hermit, before this Hermit, or the reason that this Hermit needed to come in. Yeah, I really feel like it was because there was just a circulation of a lot of extra energy and not maybe even necessarily positive energy. And some of that could have just been lack of deciding what you were actually doing or where you were going. You were kind of listening to other people's opinions on what cups you should be choosing in life. And you weren't maybe necessarily choosing your own. But within that, you were repeating cycles, repeating patterns. Those energies just kept circulating back and forth, What about this star? What is this star here? What is this star? The Seven of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands actually in reverse. This star here, the answered prayers, it's kind of funny that that kind of came out the way it did, because the star here is about our prayers, and it's about our connection to the cosmos, to the universe, and, praying for what we want, but then having the faith that the way that those are answered, the things, the answers to those prayers, we can't dictate how that is going to look. We can't actually control how that looks. We can put out there how we, pray that it might happen. But we have to accept that the answers that the universe gives us, that is for our happiness. That is for our fulfillment here. And there's almost, it's like this star is like this wishing, and that you've put in all of this work to these pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles here. You've put so much work in here, and the Knight of Pentacles behind that, it's been showing up every day, one step at a time, not maybe fast moving. And it's not, you haven't even maybe gotten to that answered prayer yet. And maybe the answered, maybe some of those prayers that you were working on turned out to actually not be the answered prayers you were thinking, or they didn't actually even come to a material form. You kind of showed up and you put these steps in, but then the completion that you were hoping to have at the end of it didn't really turn out the way that it did. But the answer that you got from that was the divine answer. That was your answered prayer. You were asking for something and the universe gave it to you in the way that it is going to best serve you. And as a karmic lesson, we must open ourselves up to understanding that, okay, Even though I maybe don't understand it, this is the best way that the universe, the cosmos, the divine sees this working out for me. They see more, we're going with that, right? That's a beautiful energy there for that star. Sorry guys, babe is kind of losing her mind just because the boys are out in the field and she is not. So, all right, what is this Hanged Man? What is the lesson here? The Hanged Man, the two of Wands, look at that. Again, you know, when the Hanged Man is about change, of course the Two of Wands would come out to clarify that, right? Because the Hanged Man is about putting yourself in the place of suspension, allowing spirit to really guide you. And the Two of Wands is the change in direction in which you are going. It can be the change in, you know, jobs, the change in careers, like, you know, totally changing your career, right? From one thing to the next. It can be a change of, you know, of where you live. It can just be that change within yourself that, you know, went from thinking one way, you know, putting yourself in the position of the Hanged Man and then actually making the steps in the change to go in the different direction. Okay. And this appreciation, let's see here. What is this appreciation? This is a beautiful lesson to be having. Oh my goodness, yes. The appreciation is the death, the rebirth, the Ace of Swords, and then the Five of Pentacles. You know, and appreciation is about understanding that even in a garden full of roses, there are more thorns than roses, right? There are. And there's always going to be the thorns within the rose garden, but it's appreciating the beauty of the roses anyway. Okay, it's instead of maybe even painting the picture of the roses, for once you switch it and you change, you know, you paint the picture of the thorn. Okay, because there is beauty within the thorns too. There is beauty within our hard spots of life. Okay, there is. There is a need here to completely rebirth, you know, to change the views, to change maybe how you have, you know, maybe looked at yourself as a victim in the past and how you are embracing this, you know, new love for self within this, you know, Venus and Leo, right? But there's a need here for this cycle to be reborn, to die off and to literally come to be reborn. Okay, there is. The Ace of Swords is that kind of download, okay? That deep thought that just kind of seemingly comes from nowhere. And it's almost as though spirit is just like, do-do-do-do-do-do, you know, SOSing, you know, some sort of signal into your brain. But here is your inspiration. Here are your ideas. Here's the thought to actually how to change this, what to appreciate, what to look for, okay? And then the Five of Pentacles is moving you from this place. It's moving you from the place of the despair, moving you from the place of hard times, okay? You must, even in the hard times, you must even have the faith or even still look for the roses, okay? Just because we sit here in the darkness and in the cold doesn't mean that we can't, you know, be thankful for the moonlight that's illuminating the way here to the key and to the keyhole, so that you can go forward here. This is what appreciation is about. It's allowing yourself to change, totally change your way of thinking here. You know, that is a huge one here. Wow. All right, let's pull a couple clarifiers here on the death. What's the death and rebirth here? The Seven of Wands, yeah. The death and rebirth is about embracing your light, embracing your strength. You know, don't worry about the bullshit of anybody else, okay? This is about your path, what sparks your soul, okay? This death and rebirth, this is about embracing your authenticity, okay? It's about finding and falling in love and appreciating your authenticity, okay? It really is. What is this Ace of Swords here, Spirit? The World. The Ace of Swords is the acknowledgement that, you know what, there's been hard times, absolutely. You know, there has been hard times. Things haven't been easy, but they needed to happen. They needed to happen the way they did because they brought you to the place that you are. They brought you to the understanding, to the place of wisdom that you are at. And that, you know, we don't come by wisdom without the lessons to get us there, okay? What is this Five of Pentacles? The Five of Pentacles was the Five of Pentacles. It's just despair. It's just, it is what it is. We got them?
It was really easy. We put the buckets down and flipped the holsters on.
Yeah, well, they're pretty bribable for grain. I think sometimes I like to go out to the field just to be bribed back by grain.
Same as the pellets at the barn?
No. You know, the Five of Pentacles is the Five of Pentacles. There's nothing you can do about it. Sometimes life is just downright despairing, lonely, awful, and hard. Wow, isn't that interesting? Okay, so let's move into our divine feminine here. So this is the energy of the divine feminine, okay? And what what energies the divine feminine needs to kind of be aware of here. The yin and the yang. That was really quick. That was really fast, It's about going forward with your faith. It's about going forward with your intuition, letting the divine feminine within you, as Venus goes direct through the planet of Leo. Venus is the planet of the divine feminine, right? It is about following our intuition, following our love for self into what is going to bring us into that happiness. Okay? The energy here for the divine masculine. The energy here for the divine masculine. Victory and community. There's victory and connection here, And the divine masculine does not have to just be talking about actual masculines within our lives. The divine masculine is talking about the action within our lives, And there is victory here with the connection to soul tribes, maybe connection to family. All right, let's see. What is the shadow energy of that yin and the yang for the divine feminine? What's the shadow energy here, Spirit, for the yin and the yang for the divine feminine? The shadow is maybe feeling like you don't know all the answers. Maybe, maybe there's been some cheats. Maybe some people haven't really been honest with you, and maybe it's just not even understanding or having the ability to see. Not everything is out in the clear for you. And it's hard to trust things we can't see. As a shadow energy, it is hard to have faith in the things that we cannot see here, right? Absolutely. What's the energy of the light? The High Priestess. But it is about having the faith anyway. Okay? Yes, it is tough to be not actually knowing what is all to come. It is tough to have faith in the things that we cannot see. But the light to combat that shadow is to just have faith anyway. To sit with yourself, to allow yourself to see beyond, to allow yourself to have the faith in the divine, whatever that looks like. Okay? To have faith that you are moving past this. Don't the four of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles in reverse, it's allowing yourself to kind of just go with the flow, understanding that you don't always know the right way here. That you have to open yourself up and allow the universe to actually work through you. You can't see it. You can't see the bigger picture. We just ultimately can't as human beings. We do not have the capacity to see that kind of magnitude. So open yourself up and just have faith in the divine. Allow the divine to actually work within your life so that you can have the things that are for you. So that those opportunities of change and those opportunities of success in life and love, they come into you. Have faith like the High Priestess. Have faith that it is going to be, right? Sorry, excuse me just one second. Well, I apologize for interruptions in my video in the beginning because we are often interrupted. All right, so this High Priestess, this light energy, this is embracing the knowing, embracing the inner knowing, right? The Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups, because this is the acknowledgement, this is this High Priestess, this light energy. It's the knowledge of walking away from what needs to be walked away from, because there are certain things in our lives that just, no matter how much we want them, they aren't going to bring us fulfillment. Okay? It's trusting and knowing that. It's believing yourself even when it's painful to do so. Okay? All right, let's see. What is this victory? Victory and community here. What is the shadow here for this victory in this community for the divine masculine? The Six of Wands, the Magician, and the Ten of Swords. Look at that. The Six of Wands is about embracing your self-liberation. The Magician is about the masculine power, but it is about the powers that we hold within ourselves, you know, and embracing those powers. And the Ten of Swords is walking away from things, you know, and swords are about thinking about your intellect. So oftentimes the Ten of Swords is walking away from ideas, you know, walking away from certain ways of thinking that maybe have dictated our actions within our lives or situations within our lives. Okay. The Six of Wands, though, is here about this liberation. Okay, this self-liberation. It's almost as though, you know, you are liberated. And, you know, and as a shadow energy, it can be really talking about that fear of self-liberation, that fear of actually just embracing your authenticity, embracing the power that is within you. Okay, walking away maybe from the idea of being the victim within your own life and actually embracing the power that is yours, you know, because that is a hard thing for us to do. You know, it's hard to acknowledge within our lives that, okay, wait, shitty things have happened in our lives, but we've never been the victim. Okay, shitty things just happen in life. Our choices, you know, align us to either how we get out of the shitty things or how we continue to go through the shitty things. And that's a fucking hard thing to acknowledge, you know, and especially in our action life, especially in how, you know, we show up. There's a lot of shame that comes with that. You know, when you're talking about the actions of the life and you're talking about, you know, shadow energies of not stepping up into your light or not stepping into your power, right? And like having to walk away from ideas or walk away from patterns that we do, that is tough. That's confronting your ego, right? It is. Let's see. What is the Six of Wands? Can we get a clarifier for the Six of Wands here? The King of Wands, look at that. You know, the Six of Wands is the King of Wands because, you know, that is embracing your authenticity. It's embracing who you are as a spiritual being, who you are steady, solid, steadfast, you know? Yes, that's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to say, this is who I am authentically, you know? The Five of Cups, you know, the Five of Cups is the acknowledgement that some cups in life have been spilt, you know, and when it clarifies this Magician, that is the power and the acknowledgement that, okay, your power is knowing that the cups that were spilt weren't for you. So embrace the cups that were spilt for you. Embrace the opportunities in life that are for you. Don't worry about the cups that have been spilt. You know, yes, heartache, sadness, they go with that. That's part of it, okay? Absolutely, we can't escape those things. But our power is moving past that. Our power is in acknowledging that, oh my God, that freaking hurt. But my life has still benefited. Even though that pain happened, my life has still moved past that. Because the cups that were for me have still been for me, you know, and that doesn't mean that the sorrow of our lives or the pains that we have gone through, the hard lessons that we have gone through, those pains don't, you know, continue on with us. You know, it's not even, you know, in certain things like death, right? It's not that we, you know, we just move past, you know, that longing for a loved one or the missing of a loved one. No, that's not the case. But the suffering and that gut-wrenching pain, that is not something that we actually have to carry through our everyday. No, it's not. Let's see this Ten of Swords. And there's a connection here for this soul tribe, you know? There is. The Ten of Swords, the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands, you know? And the Page of Pentacles is about new tangible beginnings, you know? And as this divine masculine kind of energy here, you know, are even if you're, you know, even reflecting this inwards to ourselves, you know, feminines, this is the action within your life, you know? And this is a place to actually start new tangible action within your life. Something that sets you on fire. Action that sets you on fire. Beginning stages that light you to who you want to be as the Knight of Wands. Okay? These are real things. Absolutely. That's really beautiful. All right, let's see here. We're going to see what the energy of the advice is. What is the energy here of the advice? The seventh chakra, look at that. The crown chakra. The connection to the divine. Okay? A spiritual connection. Something that connects you to the cosmos, something that connects you to the universe as a whole, you know, whether that be the Lord or whatever that is in your world, you know, something that is bigger than just the connection of a religion, you know, even beyond, you know, the boxes of religions, you know, this is a true deep connection, you know, something that you feel personally. Wow, that was a lot. Caring connections, the thinking woman, anxiety, and a man holding a heart. You know, this connection to the divine is just the kind of faith and how this all plays together, because the connection to the divine as this seventh chakra here, that is having the faith. It's having the faith that relationships, whether they are romantic or platonic or work related, however those look at, whatever they are, okay? It's having the faith that even our answered prayers are going, for this. They all blend together. It's the acknowledgement that we need to continue to move ourselves, not try to focus on the parts of our lives, not get so hung up and stuck on things that we can't change, that we're missing all the downloads and the information, the lightning bolts that are happening outside our windows. It's about being vulnerable and putting the actions of our lives with our hearts on our sleeves. As a masculine here holding his heart on his sleeve, okay, yes, this can be talking about a masculine who comes forward and bears his heart and, all the right things. But as action, as a personal, as I take this personally, this is me showing up to the divine masculine aspect of my life. The parts that I have to actually show up and take the steps, make the steps in my life to actually, bring the things in that I want, actually physically, tangibly change the things. And I'm showing up with my heart, and that is what this is asking you to do. It's saying have faith in the divine, that the connections that you need are going to be there, that you can move yourself, you can grow, you can continue to educate yourself and continue to advance yourself through this knowledge of self-growth. Stop focusing on the anxiety, stop focusing on the things that you can't actually change. This girl is she's looking at her lap and she's just sitting here anxious and she cannot see the lightning bolts outside that are like, hey, check this out. This is a better way to go. This is a better idea here. Okay? It's hard. It is. It's so hard. What is the advice here? Yeah, look at that. There is a divine shift here. This is an actual time and a period where you know how I said this broken heart was, this karmic lesson? This is a karmic shift. Okay? The advice here is that you actually make the change, that you take the reins of your chariot and you start driving that baby the direction you want to go. Doing the things that are going to serve you, living the life that is going to bring you fulfillment and happiness. Okay? Because this is a life for you. That's what the Ace of Cups is. This is a life for you. These are opportunities that are gifted for you. And an Ace of Cups is something that not only brings, an opportunity of new love, but it brings opportunities of emotional fulfillment, opportunities of authenticity, opportunities of self, opportunities of abundance, okay? This is bringing something that really fills your cup. And when our cups are full, then it's easy to actually fill the cups of all those around us. It's not something that isn't going to take work. That's what the Eight of Pentacles is about, okay? Yes, accepting the cup and actually going forward and showing up every day. Those are things that we have to continue to work at. Those are lessons that we must show up every day and keep working at. That is the advice here. You must continue to embrace this journey of your self-growth every day. And some days are better than others, okay? Some days it's just tough days. And give yourself a break. Have compassion. Show yourself compassion for sure. But we must always acknowledge that the direction that we are choosing to drive our chariot down is our choice. And if we don't choose to actually drive our chariot down that way, then it's just not going to go that way. Fate and destiny, those aren't, those aren't something that take the reins of your chariot and steer it for yourself. No, those are something that kind of roll with you once you take the reins. I don't believe that there is just, I don't believe that we can go through lives and our choices and have no, we have such free will. That's what I'm trying to say there. Our choices reflect our free will, our decisions, our repeating patterns, whatever that may be. Those reflect ultimately where we are going. Let's see what this chariot is. I'm going to clarify here for the chariot. The sun, and that's it. There is happiness, and that's what you are being called to steer your chariot towards. Whatever the fuck is going to make you happy. Your sunshine. Be the naked baby riding your white horse, right? It's your fulfillment. It's your happiness. It's your life. It's your chariot. So steer yourself towards the things that are actually going to do and make you happy. Steer yourself towards a life of fulfillment. Ace of Cups, the Queen of Swords. Okay, it's this clarity. This Ace of Cups is it's the clarity. It's that guided intuition of, through heartbreak, through the things in life that has been challenging, through the things that you haven't been able to see. there is just this Ace of Cups is almost this, this opportunity, this fulfillment that just comes in and leaves you feeling clear, leaves you being able to understand, yes, this has been the heartbreak that I have endured. Yes, these have been the hard times. Yes, these are the things that I haven't even understood, but I have followed. I am clear in following that this cup was for me. That if I stay true to my authenticity, it will bring me ultimately what is meant for me in my life. It'll bring me my power. Okay? It'll bring me, the power is always within you. And that is that Ace of Cups. That is that cup of authenticity. It's that cup of the opportunity that has always been within you. Right? Eight of Pentacles. What is this Eight of Pentacles? The Page of Wands. The Eight of Pentacles is looking at it with a new way. It's the beginning here of a new person, a new spiritual being showing up different in your everyday life. Yep. Showing up so emotionally filled. The Queen of Cups again. Can you hear that hawk? I think it's a hawk. Nope. They're vultures, actually. And the vulture spirit is nothing is ever wasted. No matter what shitty circumstances happened in your life, nothing has ever been wasted. Okay? There was lessons that needed to happen within all of it. And, there has been some shitty times. Our first two cards out were the storm warning and the heartbreak. And the heartbreak was a karmic lesson, a karmic fucking heartbreak that had to happen. So there's nothing we can do about that. That's shitty. But the lesson there was needed. And thank goodness the lesson was there because you are new because of it. You are changed. You are different. You are whole. Hallelujah. All right. Well, we are going to pull an angels and an ancestors here. Angels and ancestors for the Venus and Leo. Message from the angels and ancestors for the Venus and Leo. Thank you. Shield Maiden. Make plans and focus. Wow, that's really interesting. I love the Shield Maiden. She's so kick-ass. I feel like I was a Shield Maiden in a lifetime. Shield Maiden. Make plans and focus. Have a plan or a strategy in place before moving forward. The Shield Maiden is the female knight in shining armor. In Viking traditions, women were seen as equal to men, and so joined them on their raids and fought with them on the battlefield. In this deck, the Shield Maiden brings a fierce feminine energy, the power of being a warrior while retaining feminine sensitivity. She is ready to put her plan into action. She's ready to go into battle. Her medicine helps us move beyond any unsettled feelings when our plans start to take shape and follow through with our strategies in order to be where we want to be. Shield Maidens worked together in times gone by to create shield walls for protection. She also shows us how to work with others in order to bring our plans to fruition. Take some time to assess what your next steps will be. All great warriors have a plan. You are a sensitive being, and if you are not prepared for the tasks you are taking on, you could end up feeling exposed and helpless. The ancestor guidance that is coming to you now is a reminder that you have a warrior's heart, and that you have it within you to be more prepared and focused than you have been recently. So have a strategy in place, and then let your guides support you as you move forward. Isn't it kind of cool that the Shield Maiden came out here and the Venus here, the planet of the divine feminine, right? And it's just saying, allow your divine, whether you are a feminine or not in this lifetime, allow your divine feminine, allow your inner knowing, your inner intuition to just guide you through this, because it is kick-ass. All right. Well, that was a beautiful reading. And until next time, guys, take great, amazing care of yourselves. Bye now.